Hey guys, it's Jen over at worldofjencraft.com. This is today's project. It's a really cute joyfold card that I made, I don't know, probably 5-6 years ago and never made it again because I made it and didn't really need to revisit it again. But I did revisit it this time because I had never seen it open up this way. When I made it, I had it open up like this, which I thought was really cute. And then when I saw that it was opening up like this, I thought, well, this would be just absolutely perfect for the coffee cup. And it's just kind of a fun little fold card, something different to be able to send out to your friends and family. So let's get to the supplies and I will show you how I made it. The classic weave ribbon, the soft suede, is what I used on this. Again, I really love that stuff. And then I used some linen thread on it. The Coffee Cafe stamp set. If you haven't seen it yet, you might want to check it out. I really do love this set. Plus, I'm a huge coffee drinker. I drink it, I swear, all day long. Well, till probably 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The coffee cup framelits. For ink, I used Soft Sky and Soft Suede. And I threw on a little bit of Wink Estella, and I'll show you where because I thought it turned out pretty sweet. Now, I did make these for our catalog release party on Saturday, and I had a few kits left over that I had cut extras from, so I thought I would just go ahead and borrow one of these kits and make it. So everything is pre-cut and ready to go except for one thing. So I started off with a Soft Sky card, Soft Suede. I'm going to be stumbling through that all video, sorry. Soft Suede cardstock. And it's a 4 1/4 by 8 1/4, and you are going to score it at 2 3/4. That is where your fold is going to be. And then you're going to need another piece of soft suede, and this one is going to measure 3 by 8, and this one is going to be scored at the 4 inches. So you're going to be scoring it or folding it in half. Then you'll need another little piece for the little cup holder thingy-mabobber, and that's going to be about a 1.5 by 2 to cut out this piece. And I wanted to show you the dimension on this. Isn't that really cool? I just love that extra added dimension on these dies. So Coffee Break DSP, that's what that is. And it is a 4 by 5 1/4, a 2.5 by 4, a 2 1/4 by 4. I think I have this wrong. They both are going to be a 2.5 by 4 because they're both the same size. And then for the cup, it is going to be about a 2 1/4 by 3 to cut out this cup. Soft Sky cardstock, 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Whisper White, 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. And you are going to only need one of these. This is going to go on the front. And then you're going to need a 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and this is going to go on the inside. And then approximately 2 1/4 by 1.5, 2 by 2, or whatever you need to be able to cut this. So I would say probably 2 1/4 by something to cut this out. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to stamp first, because this is actually most assembly and very little stamping. So I'm going to stamp the little lid out, and that is going to get stamped out in the soft suede. And I guess maybe I'll just kind of throw it down here. And then we're going to take our Soft Sky, and that is going to go in the center. Just kept my stamping simple on this one. So that's going to go there, and then we're going to set this aside for a second and bring out the big shot in a minute. So I thought what I would go ahead and do is you're going to want to take both of these pieces actually, and I stamped my little coffee beans. So I just took and stamped the 3 in this corner. I think I'm going to bring this down just so I don't stick my head in the way. So these are just going to get stamped right here in this corner, and then you're going to do the same for the inside. So I just thought this time I wanted the inside to kind of match the outside on this. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and clean this off. And let's see if I can do this without putting any water or anything, or a cleaner on it. I might use the back of this just to make sure. You want to make sure that your stamp is completely cleaned off. And then what I did is I went ahead and with the very tip of my pad, being careful not to get it on the one bean. See if I can get it at an angle where I can do this. So then you're just going to ink up the two and leave that third one uninked. And then I'm just going to stick it up here like I would there. And we're going to do that one more time, and we're going to stick it on here. So very carefully, and I just kind of took the corner of my pad and doing this one. Yay. Okay, I think that's a success. And let me get this turned around. I guess just quick, maybe it doesn't matter in the whole, scheme of things of making the card, but when I was kind of trying to finish up and put the finishing details on this card, I was trying to think, well, do I bring in like a sparkle or one of our enamel shapes or one of our little gems or whatever to go on here? And then I saw the little coffee beans and I thought, well, that could be it. That could be my embellishment, if you will. So using the rule of three, or the, the odds, the 3, the 5, that's how I ended up coming up with this. So I did brush on a little bit of Wink of Stella just so I could have that little sparkle on there. So I'll do that quick and then set these aside and we'll get to assembling. All right, so there it is. There's our little bit of sparkle on there. So let's set these aside. And you can certainly do this without the Wink of Stella, obviously. It would still be just as cute just to have the little beans. So then what I'm going to do is let's bring in this and start assembling on here. So the larger piece of your coffee break or whatever paper it is that you choose to use for this is going to go on the inside of this fold. So this piece is going to go here. Now, as an afterthought, after I got it all done, I thought it might be kind of pretty if I added a soft sky cardstock to go behind that. So that's certainly something that you can do. I just ended up keeping it a little bit more simple. And then the designer, well, I guess it's all designer paper, but then I went ahead and did the coffee pot DSP, and that is going to go also on the inside. So when you open it up, you'll see both of those patterns. So that'll go right here, and then the piece that's going to go here is going to be the one that coordinates with this piece here. So we'll throw on some adhesive, and that's just going to get placed on here. And all of these are they're all 1/4 of an inch smaller than what the actual cardstock is. So the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to set this aside for a minute, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to decorate this piece here. So my front is going to go with the soft sky cardstock first. So I really do think that if I added soft sky to the whole entire card, it would have been really pretty. Maybe I'll go back and do that at some point. Now, of our 2 Whisper White pieces, you're going to want the smaller one to go on the front. And this one I decided to cut just 1/8 of an inch smaller than our soft sky, so we had just a touch of that soft sky coming through. Now you're going to flip this over, and then this piece is going to go on to here. Now I did see when I was browsing through Pinterest where I found this, that some of them did go ahead and put a designer series paper or different color cardstock up top as well. But I was trying to keep this a little bit more simple for those who came to my class, in case I had, some who are a little bit newer to stamping. So that is that piece. And then you're going to want to be fairly generous with your adhesive when it comes to putting it on here. And that piece is going to just get centered up kind of towards the top a little bit. I kept it so all of my edges, my top, both my right and left side were all even. So it's going to give you a little bit of extra down here. And so that's just going to come over like that. Then for my little tiny cup, I just absolutely love, love, love this cup. This is just going to go sitting here on top of it. And then I promise I will get to the lid here in a second. But I thought, well, as long as I'm doing this, I might as well just get it all assembled. Now I'm going to take my ribbon, and this ribbon is just going to go maybe about 1/4 of an inch down from the top of that edge here. And that just gets wrapped around to the back. And I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that this ribbon is stuck down. And we're going to put a few Stampin' Dimensionals on here to give it some dimension. So before I get too crazy with everything, I'm going to go ahead and pull out my Big Shot, and let's get this lid cut out. So here's that, our little lid. And this die is just going to fit right over it. And it is, I do recommend stamping before you cut, only because I know how I am, and if I cut first and then stamp, chances are it's not going to line up and I'm going to be completely off. And the magnetic platform does help with that as well, because it does keep your die in place, and that way you don't have to tape it down or worry about it shifting when you go through with the magnetic plate. So there's our lid, and let's see, I think it's going to go like this. So I'm just going to put some adhesive down here at the bottom of our lid, and I found it easier if I did this upside down when I lined it up. So make sure I'm up here in the camera. And that's going to go there, and I'm going to go ahead and probably throw another couple dimensionals on here, because so we're going to have like 20 dimensionals on this, but it really wasn't intended. I just want it all to be even. So before we put that on, I'm going to take our linen thread, and this is something that I actually kind of struggle with a little bit, is adding the little extra whatnots onto my projects. And so I thought, with this project, I'm going to go ahead and try and do this little string thingy on the back. And let's see, I usually use a glue dot, and my glue dots are nowhere to be found at this moment. So we're just going to stick some adhesive down here in the middle, because it's not going to show. And this is going to get, I kind of put it a little bit of an angle on here, like that-ish, right? And then this is going to go on top of it. So 20 minutes later, I finally got them all off. Let's see, where is my card? I'm sorry if I've said like 20 times today. I'm trying not to. All right, so it is going like, well, it might help if I just do it like this. Let's open it up. And it's angled just a little bit. And then once I had this on here, I went ahead and just kind of spread out my little thread so it didn't look too perfect. I have a hard time with that. I don't know about you guys. I just want things to look perfect, so if it looks kind of haphazard, it almost bothers me. But I'm going with it, right? We're trying something different. And then the last thing I did is I tied a bow, and I did cheat. One of my girls that came with me, came over here on Saturday, Barb, she goes, did you cheat on this bow? And I said, yes, I did. So I found that if I wanted my bow to actually stay even with it, and a cheat bow is just basically tying it and then sticking it on with a glue dot. So I think that's about good, and I'm going to grab my glue dots quick. All right. And these are the bigger ones, but so we'll just kind of have to fold it around a little bit to get it off and just so it doesn't show. So then I'm just gonna, I have a hard time working on something that's already folded. So that is just gonna go right here in the center, our little cheat bow. I always like when I feel like I'm cheating in, well, I mean in crafting, cutting corners, maybe that's what I should say. I don't cheat, I promise. All right, so let's get this cut, and then we're gonna cut the other side. I never know which angle to cut it at. This way? Yes. Okay. Yeah, so we have little tiny tails on there. And that, I think that's it, guys. That's our card. So what do you think? Kind of cute, huh? Kind of simple in a not so simple kind of way, just with all the folds and everything. I would absolutely love to receive this in the mail. I just love how interactive it is. Thank you for watching and tuning in. I do appreciate it. I know I say it pretty much every video, but I honestly do. Sometimes I'm just blown away that you guys keep coming back to me, even though I ramble through the whole entire video. You probably just sit there and hit fast forward through all my talking, because I probably would do the same thing. So instructions and dimensions will be posted to my website, worldofgencraft.com, that you will be able to print out if you would like. Thanks again. I will talk to you next time. Bye.